these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
Right now, Facebook is doing its countdown.
I want no answers, I want them now.
15 seconds to go on that one. And it's going to go in 10, 9,
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
6,
I want no answers, I want them now.
3, 2,
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
That's right, that's right, that's right. Show number 12. AiQ, all in question. Radio live.
Welcome to AiQ, the All in Question live show with your host, Don Regal.
Isn't that a lovely name?
And Mr. Ramon.
You're famous.
Bringing you the most intriguing questions of the day with live call-ins.
Am I in the air?
And interviews. Are you ready to go all in?
Yes.
Let us begin.
Attention, everyone.
Are you ready?
Let us begin.
All right. Here we are, AiQ All in Question Radio, live on YouTube and Facebook, streaming to you live. This is a talk and video call-in show. You can go ahead and get your calls in at 312-554-5785. That's 312-554-5785 during the show. My co-host, will be joining me remotely today due to this coronavirus we got out here. You know what I'm saying? So let me bring in my co-host here, Don Rigo. Where you at? Let's see. Is you in there? There you go. I see you.
Yeah.
How you doing, Captain?
Oh man, just maintaining, I guess. Dealing with this apocalypse.
This out-of-worldly, out-of-body experience we got going on, that is COVID-19, making big changes around the country and around the atmosphere in our day-to-day lives.
Almost definitely.
I mean, it's to the point we had the toilet paper run, the hand sanitizer calamity, the face mask, the face mask innuendos, and now we are doing the sit and wait. You know, sit and wait as they reverse the course of, not reverse, I'm sorry, but as they extend the shelter at home order put out by number 45. He wants us to stay until now, April 30th. And certain governors have also followed suit, including our own Illinois, J.B. Pritzker. He went ahead and said, yeah, that'll do. We're going to add another few weeks onto that and make it 30. Make sure everything is cleared up, because they say this week will be the worst as far as the death toll is concerned. You know, the death toll, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bell curve of it all coming to a class. So yeah, that's scaring them. They're comparing the loss of lives to be greater than 9/11. We already surpassed that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, World War II. Well, yeah, they said Pearl Harbor. Yeah, they said it's going to be greater than Pearl Harbor. Now, not greater than World War II itself in its totality. That was a lot more people. But as far as like the attack on Pearl Harbor. Now that we're going to surpass that number in depth. So yeah, America's getting a lot of first and record breakers this time around. And he said new millennium. Another 1,000 years. In the second 1,000-year reign, it's going to be a whole new game. At the beginning of the 20th century, we had World War pop off, and what was that, 1913, 1918 or so, the Spanish flu. We had that pop off. Now we're part to do the whole thing over again. Check us out at the beginning of a whole nother century. Calvin says, I believe it'd be the year to stay home. Well, that's for a couple of months at least. The first half, if this is a basketball game, this first quarter, you're gonna be at home for that one. You know, they're gonna be all home games. But I mean, if that's what's needed to calm the spread, I don't see a problem with it. You know, a lot of people are having a big problem with staying in the house. You know, they say it's their life to live. I get to do what I.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
They say that, but you also got other people's lives in there. Because if you spread it to them who don't want it, who might have pre-existing diseases and something like that, who are at risk at the most dying, then you're being selfish about your life.
Mm.
You know, this disease has told me, man, or this pandemic has told me how people really are, especially like you mentioned before about how we have all these lockdowns or having more stay-at-home policies. But me and you talked off there about how all these other governors of these other states were lagging way behind, and they just now really putting stay-at-home policies. What, this week? Last week?
Yeah, last week. Yeah, certain governors not just doing it. They these are the same ones that push to have golf courses seen as an essential, an essential activity or business. Golf courses.
What started smoking?
Well, think about it. This was Florida. We can go ahead and drop and say who it was. It was Florida. Florida's governor didn't want to make a certain commander in chief upset. You know, because a certain commander in chief has properties in Florida, which happen to be golf courses. Yeah, Calvin's right. People are being selfish. You know, 45 included. He's basically he didn't say so. We don't know that he said so or not. But you know, having these golf courses open and certain country clubs open, they were necessities for certain people who were used to a certain way of life. I'm like, whoa. In that case, hell, why not have the beauty salons open? Because there's a lot of women that can attest to that. That is a certain way of life for them, and we closing that. So why not, you know, close? Yeah, let them get their nails and hair done. Why we don't do that? Because that would spread the COVID-19. That would spread the coronavirus. You know, think about it. One of those workers gets sick. They're out there working. They're touching people's feet and hands and things like that of that nature. People spread it throughout. Boom, 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 boom. One touches 10, 10 touches, 100, 100 touches 1,000. It goes on and on. Next thing you know, boom, a whole nother spread. A whole nother hot pocket of activity.
Yeah, that's domino effect.
Yeah, domino effect, pretty much. Because the biggest issue we have right now is people who are going out there purposely being contrary to the whole stay at home and social distancing measures that are out there. You got people out there who are purposely touching things they ought not touch, spitting on people as a weapon. That's even disgusting. spitting on people as a weapon. You got people attacking people. You got out and out blatant racist attacks on Asian people. You got people, just attacking them, thinking, oh my God, you got people attacking nurses, healthcare workers outside of the hospital. They out there screaming, you're spreading the virus. You're a part of the system. That conspiracy thing we were talking about last week. You got people who believe in that. And that's the problem with misinformation. You put out this bad information. Some people go, well, it's information that everybody needs to be heard. This is the problem. There are certain people out there who cannot quantify certain types of information, and they take it to the head and they act on it. Yeah. Yeah. They said he killed. Yeah, he's not going to kill the virus, Calvin. That's a misconception also there. But he will not kill the virus. Although just like with the flu, there are less cases of the flu in the summertime and whatnot. The people still get the flu in the summertime, and this virus, much like the virus influenza, the flu, it will probably be the same, and what they're worrying about right now is the double up effect of it going away or trimming down and then being a beast in the fall. When that time of year comes around, that's one of the big things that they're worried about right at this moment. We had
it's the whole thing of people being smart, man. And really paying attention to what's going on and doing what you're supposed to do, like the social distancing.
Yeah, social distancing. Social distancing, staying in your house, and doing what this lady right here say. that lady right there, she don't play. We've been seeing, now that's been funny, but it's been true because Lori Lightfoot has proven to be a strong mayor thus far during this pandemic. This episode we're going through here in Chicago. She's out there stating it like it is, telling it like it is, and she doesn't have a problem with the mind. She said she actually found it funny and found it informative. She's like, because some people could have took that much like Trump. Could have taken memes like that they were making of her and been butthurt about it, but she's like, no, I'm for that. That's good because it's funny, but it's spreading my message. It's spreading the message out there, and people are getting that, taking that to heart. So you see those little things that people putting the little Lori in the refrigerator, get out the refrigerator, you know already it, that type of thing as a reminder. But it works, she's been a real strong leader through this whole episode here. Our governor also. Mm-hmm.
You mentioned about the information people get and everything like that, and that they know these things. But do you think that the more they show the death toll and the more people affected, that brings more pessimism in the minds of these people or the population?
Well, here's the thing about that one. Okay, when you bring up these numbers, and these are big numbers. When you bring these numbers up, let me bring them over here. When you bring these numbers up, and people see these numbers, and it's like, okay, that's 1,200,000 right there. COVID cases worldwide, 69,000 deaths, 261,210 recovered. A little over 250,000 people recovered, which is great. Yeah, and you look at active cases, then you look at the breakdown by countries and whatnot. People see these numbers. Some people see these numbers and go, "Man, it's just scaring. It's a scare tactic." Yeah, it should be. It just scare you into reality. There's a lot of people out here saying the virus is not real. That's true, Calvin. There's a lot of people out saying that it's not a real thing until someone that they know personally is in the hospital, gasping for air or having complications from a pre-existing condition, or being an elderly person and this being their exit zone right here, or worse, like we've been seeing people who were younger people, a baby. We just had the first baby a little bit ago. Succumb to that. And so, should it be a shock tactic? Yes. Hell yes. Yeah, it definitely should be. Because some people got to burn and learn. They won't learn unless you put it in their face. You have to put the bodies in their face so they can get it. Other people are like, no, they just don't want you to do this. They don't. It's a lot of they don't want you this and they don't want you that. Here's the thing, man. If they want to get you, they can get you. They know where you at. You got a social security. You got a social security number. You have a job. You have an address. You pay taxes. You do all of these things. You got bank accounts. You got a Facebook account. You got a Twitter. You got a Instagram. They know where you at because you gonna tell them. So no need for the cloak and dagger. Now, I agree with those who say the government doesn't tell you everything. Of course not. Those out there with kids, remember when you used to go shopping for kids and those who celebrated Christmas? Did you go out there and you took your kids with you? Did you go out there and when you picking up those gifts and you had to have your kids with you, you told lies and said, no, this is for Johnny. What did Johnny want for Christmas? He wanted a G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. Oh, well, you like that? Nah, I don't like that. I like this. I like the mask. And I'm like, okay. And then you notice you grabbing the things and you just saying, man, she getting stuff for Johnny. So you ain't see her slip that little mask figurine in there you just mentioned, because she listening to what you're talking about, but she also getting what you need at the same time. But she can't put her whole hand out there. In that instance, it was for surprise. Maintain your expectations. For us, in this instance, it's to maintain your calm. I can't go out there not saying this is the case, but going out there and saying that this virus is going to take out 80% of the population. 80% of the people are going to die, guaranteed. If they came out and said that, you have a part of the world that will definitely be like, well, then why carry about tomorrow? I'm going to do everything I want to do today. And some of they desires are malicious and very self-centered, and they're going to go out there and do what they want to do at that moment. Other people be damned. They really don't care, I
mean, they think what the Dark Knight was. Mm-hmm. When Bane came in and said his speech, and what everybody did after he made that speech, I guess.
Exactly. He got the people riled up.
So that's what that'll be.
Yeah, just like that. You get the people riled up. A lot of people will go out there and you'll get a group of people who are going to fold in and protect their own and stuff like that at any cost. You'll get those out there who will be like, the hell with it. This is my chance to do what I want to do. They gonna feel like Eminem inside the bathroom getting ready for the rap battle. Like, I only get one shot and I'm gonna do it. So what was that? The Purge. And that's why I was making those comparisons to the Purge. I was like, think about it. If it was all to say it for the government to be completely honest, completely honest, and everything just went to hell. You're like, tomorrow it's all screwed. Every man for themselves. We can't fix this, and just put it out there like that. These people will be lost. You have a nice set. Now the majority of people won't go crazy, but the crazies will go all out. Nothing to stop me. And you think the crazies will be those in prison or those in mental institutions or that mean guy. You think the crazies will be them. That's not what studies say. The one you gotta watch out for, and I think we all know this as a ghetto rule, is them quiet ones. That one that's been taking it all this time. He been taking it all this time. He's been taking it. Now, tomorrow don't exist. Oh no. This gonna be a bad round for somebody. Somebody ain't gonna make it out of this one. They won't make it. Like, go ahead.
We mentioning this, so was it necessary for them to tell us that people died in Walmart? I think about that.
Was it that necessary for them to say that the two people died at? I would say, yeah, again, to remember I said you got to scare the hell out of some people, because some people were just out there going out for the hell of it. I need some toenail clippers. I'm about to go get these toenail clippers. That's not a necessity. You can have to, but it's a place that's open, and I should be able to go there. You just leaving out of the house just to go. What are you doing? You don't need to go. You don't need to go out there and do this. Nobody gonna tell me what I have to do and what I can do and whatnot. So then you got people just going out there doing what they gonna do. They don't care.
And no frustrated, man. They hear people talking about they can get their nails done, or they can get their hair done, or just little tedious shit like that.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's not a necessity.
Not at all. No, it's just something. You hear it, and like, oh, I'm used to this. I'm used to that. You're gonna have to be used to sit down for a minute. Take a seat. But you can't tell them that. Like I said, it's that population that can't be told nothing. That's the ones who need this graphic description of what's going on. They need to see the bodies being thrown inside of a tent. They need to see the jail cells where people are inside of prison right now or jail right now, and that's a closed ecosystem.
So we got a big scared straight, huh?
Exactly. There you go. That's it. That's exactly it. Scared straight. Some of these people need Big Julian to just grab their ass by the collar and lift them up. So you want to hit your mama. Some of them need that. Some of them need definitely that, because they ain't going to learn any other way. And I mean, the conspiracy theorists, those dudes, it's more about denial, cloak and dagger, until something happens close to them. Then it's like, not my man, they got my girl, not my mother, not my child. I can't believe. You should be the one to believe all along. You had all the information. You said you saw beyond said information.
I would think somebody more if that was what they were really about.
Mm-hmm.
But I see so many people who were talking about, like you say, little miscellaneous things like on Facebook. Then all of a sudden, this shit, they want to share, the 5G. That's causing.
Yeah. You got those people. Plus 1 equals 14. Because they don't tell you about that secret 12 that's watching. So you get that crap. I mean, like this story right here about the nurse that was attacked over here. This is something right here.
The nurse who said she was punched in the face by a man who accused her of trying to give him COVID-19 says she never saw it coming.
I had a dry cough where I coughed, was still wearing my mask into my elbow, and the gentleman immediately reacted, turning around and accused me of purposely coughing on him to infect him.
The nurse, who wants to remain anonymous, says she was heading home with a coworker after her shift at a local hospital.
I at that point apologized and identified myself as a nurse. I told him I was very sorry and that I would never intentionally cough on him.
Still wearing her scrubs and a mask, in part because she has asthma, the 31-year-old clinical nurse, who isn't assigned to care for COVID patients, boarded a number 3 King Drive CTA bus. The ride turned violent in Michigan and Monroe.
As he was pushing the door open, he turned around and closed hand fist punched me in my left eye.
The Wednesday night attack happened around 6 p.m. and so fast that no one on the nearly empty bus had time to react. The beating was reported to transit officials and a police report was filed. The nurse says the incident left her with a black eye and emotionally shaken as she worries about the warnings of the lack of protective gear for healthcare workers sends the public a mixed message.
Going to and from work in my scrubs, I often watch people take 2 steps back away from me, not just for the sense of social distancing, but I think the concern that any healthcare provider at this point is contagious themselves.
The nurse says she hopes sharing her ordeal will help keep everyone safe as we all deal with the threat of coronavirus.
Now, come on, man. That's a damn shame.
It's ridiculous, man.
Stop that. Yeah, that's ridiculous. This woman coming home from work, and get attacked because she sneezes.
So she got to deal with this stuff once in the hospital. Worried about being in Hollywood, that she has to be around people get infected.
Mm-hmm.
Then she gets home or on her way home. Then she gets attacked by some mentally ill, just maniac out there. I mean, damn, man, what is wrong with people?
Indeed, what is wrong with people? Because that is uncalled for. She's doing a job, and she has to deal with that. You have other people. It was a bus driver that got coughed on, and he died 4 days later. Okay, now see, that's another thing. That's a misnomer right there. That bus driver didn't get coughed on. I know the story you're talking about, Calvin, where the bus driver, the bus driver was driving, but there was a person, an elderly person who was standing up in the aisles who was coughing freely into the air. She didn't cough on the guy, directly, but she coughed freely into the air, and he did succumb later on and pass of COVID-19. So that's a big problem with them not being protected. Bus drivers out here in the city, because look where they gotta go at. A lot of them going to the medical district to pick up people who just got diagnosed with COVID-19. They get persons on the bus and they coughing and they have nothing but a plexiglass half door in between them.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that thing goes head height or something. It's sort of slanted. It's more of a bum rush type of thing for that to stop somebody from attacking them that way. I don't think it's something that they it's definitely not something that will prevent a splash or spray. And before, you had the transit authority here in the city saying that they couldn't wear masks, because of the appearance, the way it would look. They didn't want them wearing masks. And that's crazy.
Here we go again with this, man. Worrying about something that's appearance. It says that, we gotta make sure they one of the front line. Make sure they have masks, or rags or whatever, and gloves. Oh, we don't looking like that. That doesn't look good on our part. That's yeah.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. You know, because they're saying it sends the wrong message. It sends the wrong message. Yeah, Italy was saying that, and then look what happened. Numbers spiked up like crazy because they didn't want to send the message of quarantining and stay at home because that looked bad to them. It looked bad, and then suddenly, boom. Definitely, you
Do we have a government or do we have a marketing firm?
You know what? A lot of times they do act as marketing because it's like when the product they're trying to sell you is themselves for the next term. They're trying to sell you that, and so they're going to market the best them that they can put out there. Like, this is not how I truly feel about this. This is outrageous. And then next thing you know, they're sorry. Oh my God, it's a horrible thing, and they're following all the rules. It's crazy. Look at this. I'm reading now. Indiana reports 458 new confirmed cases and 11 deaths. Employee, they talked about you said Walmart, and I'm seeing also up there at the Target store in Chicago, we had 2 people tested positive for the coronavirus. And that's Target store in Chicago. Let's see exactly what store this is that they were talking about here. It is, what is this location? Oh, that's the South Loop. Yeah.
On Roosevelt?
South Loop. Well, there's 2 locations in the South Loop, and it says one near North. So I guess one at each. So the South Loop and the near North. Yeah, tested positive for the virus. Why? And of course they put out this statement. Our top priority is the health and safety of our team members and guests, and we're taking a number of steps moving forward. A company representative spokesperson said, first, we've communicated directly with the impacted members who are in quarantine and following all health department guidelines, and we'll pay them while they're on leave. Well, that's good. Okay, so let's talk about that. So, there's a lot of companies, corporations and governments that are stepping up. They are paying for people's treatments. They are, Cigna said they are going to forego the co-pays for any COVID related stays or anything like that. So I'm like, that's good. You got companies that are going to pay you through the time if you do get infected, or if you have to be quarantined, they're paying you through. I think CTA is also doing that, so that's a good thing. I mean, it doesn't take from them not having to put people in masks in the first place, but this is a good workaround. Then you have governments. The stimulus packages. America is sitting down $1,200 for eligible Americans to receive this for stimulus during this pandemic, and it can go up as high to $4,000 per household, and this is all depending on certain things. I believe it was like $500 per child, and then $1,200 per adult, up to a $4,000 maximum or something like that. And this was a one-time payment for sure, and a possible second payment pending the length of the pandemic. And we saw that, and we were like, okay, all right. Until we saw what other countries are doing this. You have
Canada.
Yes, Canada paying almost $9,000, and that's $9,000 Canadian, to the families, outright to the families. And then you have other countries that were paying.
Hold on.
What?
Canada didn't finish with that.
Oh no, what are they?
Every week.
Wow.
Every 3 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. That is something applause worthy. That is great. I mean, every 2 weeks, and I think it's the UK is also they're putting out they're putting out that they're going to pay people to stay home. And this is through the length of the situation. I mean, multiple countries who per capita income is far less than ours. You can say the majority of the world's per capita income is far less than the United States. That's what makes them number one financially in other people's eyes. But, they're able to roll these things out. So that's definitely making all those people who were giving Bernie Sanders the side eye, talking about, oh, you can't pay a citizen, or I forgot the candidate's name. They wanted to give everybody a monthly amount just for being alive. When people were like, "How Michael Chang?" Yeah. They were like, "Oh my God, how are they gonna pay for this?" And this, like, look at this, and suddenly we pulled, what was that, $2 trillion out of a hat. That's what we pulled for this thing total. But if you look at that thing, there's a lot of Easter eggs in there for the top tier people. A lot of those people are getting some things. They're getting a lot of little bonus. Now they're saying that they won't be able to use this stuff for stock buybacks, but they are getting a nice percentage. Yeah, definitely. You got well, they're telling them that if they keep a certain amount of employees on during this crisis and not lay off people or fire people, then they won't have to pay back this money. It'll just be a standard as a grant, and that'll be it. So a lot of companies are taking advantage of this now. Small companies, this will help out a lot. A lot of small companies, some of these small companies, though, they are indeed kind of doomed during this, because their whole business model, the way their business works, it's like, people have to see people. It's a people business, like a gym, for instance. That's a must gather people thing. You can't.
We talked about it yesterday, man. About gyms and everything. Like Planet Fitness.
Right.
What you got? LA Fitness.
Mm-hmm. All that.
The ones that have been booming in the last couple of years. And I think that, it's really going to get hit.
Yeah, they're going to get hit hard. That's me.
And you know what? I think about bailout or whatever they call it, like I say, it's their fault. Because if somebody had a brain, okay, this is the effect of pandemic, we want to stop this so we'll make our economy again, we don't have to do this and that. Pay this much money, even though like the country paying way more. And that's what boggles my mind. Like you take this seriously, and now you really give the horse's tooth, if you want to take.
Yeah, it's gotten bad. I mean, look at right now, record unemployment filing. 10 million workers filed jobless claims in just 2 weeks. 10 million workers. So at one point, 45 was bragging that, I have the lowest unemployment ever. Now you have the highest. You should have been knocking on some wood. I mean, man, 6.6 million.
What you got to say? Like Karen Pence. They put like the kid who stole the cookie but don't want to blame him, on it. So Mike was supposed to be opening up the door, and then Trump was supposed to be putting the jar in the cabinet. Who stole the cookie though? I don't know, Mom. This Pence was talking about China didn't give them the accurate number of the outbreak, and that's how they got behind the pandemic. But you knew about this since January. December.
Yeah, December. They knew about it in December. They spoke about it publicly in January.
Yeah, your intelligence community knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't want to get into the whole thing about who they fired, who has to deal with this before we got here. But it just trips me out. 7-year-old man trying to push the buck on somebody else. All that Obama administration.
Exactly.
He's been out of there for like 3 years, 2.5 now. You just can't own up to it. Y'all dropped the ball. You could not run across the end zone.
And Myrtle Davis is right about that. She just said it upsets her that people don't just buy what they need and leave some for those who don't have. That is a a troublesome man process, because you do see certain shells being ravished. Some people acting like this thing ain't gonna never end, or that there'll never be any more supplies. So when things get dropped off at the grocery store, key items are taken up like ridiculously. I mean, yes, there should be a limit on certain things of what you can take right now, just like a coupon. Just like a coupon. You know, if there's certain items out there, you shouldn't be allowed to just go overboard and just take. Yeah, some stores are trying.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go get one. You go get one. In the same household.
Right, the same household. And then you got those who are trying to profit off of it. You saw the guy down there in Texas spent over $100,000 in sanitizers and masks and whatnot and toilet paper. No. He bought this. He bought this. He bought this. They told him that he couldn't sell it. Like, boom, Amazon cut him off, eBay cut him off. Like, now you just stuck with that, because he was about to, price gouge. He's about to go crazy on that. You saw that, a box of gloves going for $40. I'm like, come on, man. You know.
Yeah, but the thing, my thing is, there are people who need like the healthcare people who need those masks and those gloves.
Right. So just like now, if you go on Amazon and you try to buy N95 masks, which normally they sell these masks, if you try to buy them, it shows that it's only for first line workers only. You know, hospital and government purchases only for those products. You can't even buy them. I'm like, wow. You know, because certain masks that I do have and use, I couldn't even purchase certain Purell by the large amounts for work and whatnot for those corporate orders. You're sort of in a queue, a line. You can't go and just get it. They're telling me I have to wait until what was that, July to get an order of Purell. Yeah. I'm like, hey, it's that serious. Luckily, I bought other types of product, but yeah, something like that, man, you can't even get it. And that's all due to recording.
Okay, Trump supposedly got some supplies for Russia. Then Canada and Germany said that the U.S. sideswiped for supplies or something that's supposed to go down. It's like there's been going on.
Yeah, they're saying that. They're saying that certain companies' orders have been getting jacked. Even within the state versus the federal government, you have a lot of that going on. Some of them haven't been able to get their orders because they're like New York State Governor Cuomo. He ordered a nice large amount for the ventilators, and his order was in. He had the paperwork, he had the contract signed, and suddenly canceled. I'm like, what? And then you have Trump, who's trying to move a lot of product around. And when I heard this one breakdown of what's happening, is that America is buying the materials through the companies that make them. Then the materials are going to contractors, and then we are paying the contractors for organization and distribution. What? Sounds like somebody is making somebody else sideline rich. That's what that sounds like.
I mean, it's what it is.
And putting these outside contractors into situations they don't need to be involved in. They're like, oh, we need person for distribution. Look, we have the National Guard. That's what they're for. These type of big issues. They I'm pretty sure they can do logistics. They move around vehicles and whatnot and medications all over the country. They can move this small amount. They can make this, not small amount, but they can move this amount. They can be put to this task and make this happen. They're not just good for pulling triggers. They can do other things. And they're not utilizing them in this way. And then speaking of the National Guard, basically they've been building hospitals, quick hospitals and conversion hospitals over there on at the McCormick Place in Chicago. They've converted most of the auditorium spaces into hospitals, turn them into the low pressure hospital rooms. And they saying this is going to do, I believe it was 250 people in A and B, and then C would hold 700 people. Yeah, and that's like, wow. And then in New York, they're doing the same type of thing with some of the convention centers, converting those over to hospitals and hotels also, converting that to hospitals. Then you have the Navy ship that pulled in, and it has 1,000+ beds in it, so it can be used for treatment. So
250 people in there.
250 people. Now they're saying that the one in New York, they were saying that it was going to be doing COVID patients only. So I'm hoping that that's to lighten the load on the hospital, because again, you have doctors who are cardiologists and doing that. They're doing COVID work, because they need them in that space right now to do that type of work. So, and that's going on. Then you have your regular patients who also ill are not being seen right now, because this is taking precedence right now. So that's a hard one. So if they can get all of these COVID patients to go to these spaces or transfer them to these places, they can handle them there and have the hospitals go back to a semi-normal state to treat your everyday patients, because there's people who getting regular normal sick, and they are getting turned away because of the COVID situation. It's being said that, oh no, you're not that kind of sick. And you're like, oh well, no, I'm a different kind of sick, but I'm sick. So
right.
They really need those extra spaces, and those happy that those companies and hotels and whatnot were happy to comply with that. Will they be getting paid? Yeah, more than likely they'll be getting paid for that, or compensated in some kind of way. But I mean, it's good to hear that they're actually doing donating their spaces, for use.
And then they're trying to grab like hospitals that might have been shut down a year ago or something like that. They're opening them back up and using that for COVID-19 patients.
Yeah, definitely. But, hotels that previous hospitals that were shut down and are easy to switch back on. Yeah, they're getting them back in there, back together, and that's pretty good. So that you have the spacing. But that's to show you that they're gearing up for the big boom that should be coming this week. You got
it's called big boom.
The big boom, the big bang. It's going to be a boom of people. Like the stats right now, it's saying Italy has reported the lowest increase of deaths in 2 weeks, with 525 new coronavirus deaths on Sunday. For the first time, the total people hospital fell down to 61, from 29,010 to 28,949 in a day. Ethiopia and Barbados. Yeah. I mean, it was Ethiopia and Barbados had reported their first deaths. In Ethiopia, the victim was 60, and in Barbados, the person was 81 with underlying conditions. In Scotland, the same thing. Scotland, the whole entire family. Pakistan has quarantined 20,000 worshippers and is looking for tens of thousands who attended a religious event in Lahore in March. Authorities want to test and quarantine 100,000 people who were at this event held by Talhajid Jamaat at the Islamic Missionary. To round up 100,000 people, well, you can do that pretty fast if you got the research. I mean, our government can grab 100,000 people pretty quickly, but to get them, because they quarantined 20,000 of them so far, and they're looking for 100,000. But at that time, it was in March. So at that time, they weren't doing quarantines. These people just were at a really big event, and they want to test all these people to keep the numbers down. And that's what you need to do. The Pope, the Pope Francis celebrated Palm Sunday without the public due to the pandemic, which he said should focus people's attention on what's most important. I believe he's talking about the good Lord Jesus. That's Pope. The Pope has been. He's been smart about this, He at first he was doing his regular thing out there, shaking hands, touching the babies and whatnot, and then they were like, put him. They reduced that to having him on TV. Then it was like he ain't going out at all, and that way you won't have people, because you see how people gathers in St. Peter's Basilica. He looks out there, it's thousands of people, and they are shoulder to shoulder tight outside. I mean, that would be a disaster, and that's Italy. It's like, well, it's already pretty bad. It was Sweden. Sweden had 401 deaths, 8% increase. And one of the other things I wanted to talk about was they were talking about about black people being a large number of the deaths, the actual deaths in Chicago due to COVID-19, and also Michigan, due to COVID-19. Here's the thing: a lot of them, the majority of them, had underlying conditions, so they were in poor health already. They had diabetes, they had asthma, they had circulatory issues, they had autoimmune issues already. And then this comes along, it's like, man, it's like if you had cancer and then suddenly you got pneumonia, man, we know that most of the time people are not coming back from that. You're hoping that they are, but most of the time they don't. So now you get this large number of African Americans, black people, in Detroit, not Detroit, but Michigan and Chicago. It's a pretty large number, and people are doing a conspiracy around there, saying that they're trying to give this to people. I'm like, no, that's not the case. It's just that you're not prepared. But being prepared don't just mean stacking up toilet paper. It don't just mean having a lot of toiletries around your house and water and applesauce. I don't know why I said applesauce, but having these things. Exactly. Having these things in abundance around your house is not just for that. You have to be physically prepared. What if it was something that required you to physically move from your location and we all had to get down to the far south quickly? Instantly expressways and all that stuff would cloud up, and that would be no good. So now you got to hump this on foot. And they're telling you have a month to walk from here, Chicago, to St. Louis. Not St. Louis. Let's go farther. Chicago to Texas. You have a month to walk there. Could I do that? Yeah, I could do that. But I can name a list of people that just couldn't do that. And given a month to get down there, like saying, okay, a meteorite's going to hit. Boom. You physically need to be able to make this journey. Some people just won't be able to make that. So you have to have your body and your mind prepped too. Some people losing their friggin' minds. Just being told to stay home, they're losing their minds. Like, oh my God, I can't do it. I can't deal with it. Oh my God, it's too much for me. I can't deal at all.
About what people saying, and oh man, it's so much we can do. Now, I don't want to say everybody living in a prison, but a lot of those guys start living in their mind. I mean, there's so much different things you can do. You got technology. You can go and try to be smarty up, not be smarty up, but learn a trade or learn another skill real quick.
Exactly. People were saying that this is an excellent time to learn. This is an excellent time to learn.
I was reading books. I got caught up in reading those books, man, and these are real good books. I was constantly turning the page and time was going by. People so used to watching TV. And, I watch sports events. I try to have a variety of different things I do.
Yes. And you got to remember, TV is programming. it is set to have you to think, believe, or lean a certain direction. You know, it's to prepare you for what they want to prepare you for. So if you're constantly, if the TV's pumping fear, it's because, and you're scared, that's why it's working. You know, but if it was if if you were more in control of that, and you could pick and choose, and which the internet is doing, allowing you to pick and choose your programming, then you'll be fine. You'll be better off. I can say you'll be fine, because some people put themselves into an echo chamber, and if they're a conspiracy nut, they're going to go looking for conspiracies, and they're going to be stuck in the conspiracy cycle. And all this is going to do is reinforce that. So, like I said to a lot of people, every now and then in your YouTube streams, go ahead and sign out. Go to the main page and look at that first page, and notice that none of that stuff on that first page is related to anything that you watch. That means that you are in a little echo chamber of your own ideas and thoughts and beliefs. So sometimes you need to step out of that just to see what the rest of the world is doing. I'm guilty of that myself. Just got to jump out of that to see what the rest of the world is up to. It's very important.
Those.
Jeez, man. The thing is about your favorite thing right now, the sports. Lots of these sports aren't going to make it. We got the 2020 Olympics that they were canceled, but they were rescheduled. There you go, rescheduled to next year.
2021.
Yeah, 2021. I'm like, okay, that's not Japanese good luck numbers, but 2021, you got that happening. You have any of the final games. You have the beginning of baseball, I think. That's not going to happen.
Okay, doing one. In March was March Madness, which generates a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You got baseball with spring training. NBA was going towards the end of this season, going to the playoffs around the end of April. And then, for the entertainment award, WrestleMania, the WWE, their biggest show of the year, where they usually have the average capacity to the shows are about 60,000 people. Then just the average of whatever the show is. But it generates so much money when they come in there for a weekend. Matter of fact, Trump had a conference call with all these commissioners and owners of these different sports groups and told them not to worry, like the NFL, he believes that the NFL was still going to start on time. I mean, the NBA, NBL, they're going to have to just wait it out, see how this goes.
That sucks. I mean, because you're right, because these things. Like I said, I'm not the biggest sports fan, but I do understand the economy of sports. That these things also bring in a lot of sideline business. You got all those people who make T-shirts, people who dispense beverages, beer people, and all that stuff. And all these people have employees, and these employees have families. So all these people are going to go without. And that gotta suck completely. That's again to get you back to that number, the unemployment rate number. And the good thing that the government is doing, like I said, it ain't all bad, but the good thing the government is doing is that they're going to include gig workers to be able to qualify to file unemployment. Those who piecemeal work and self-employed people, they'll be able to also file for unemployment. So that's a good thing, allowing them to do that.
Another positive about this, we talk about all these NBA players and baseball players. A lot of them are putting money to look out for those workers that you just mentioned, the vendors and everybody, everyone who works in the stadium and stuff like that. They want to make sure that they get looked out for. Some of the owners and some of the players getting together to pay some of their salaries. I mean, that's a positive. A lot of stuff we hear movement in the show. So I applaud them for stepping up and looking out for those people.
Yeah, like I said, I will give credit where credit is due. We have some politicians and lawmakers who are in there for the right reasons. Some of them that need a kick in the pants to get them to actually start remembering what they were put there for in the first place to do, so that they can actually do a good job, and then you got the hard-headed ones. They gonna learn this coming November. The ones who really screwed over their constituency. Hopefully, people will get out there this coming November and vote. And like I said again, vote your interest, vote your mind. I'm not going to say I don't care what you vote for. I would just advise you to study what's in your best interest. What's in your best interest. If you're at the 1%, vote your best interest. If you are down there at the bottom of the bottom, vote your best interest. Those in the middle, you can look around, shop around, but remember who was there for you when things were going sideways. Vote your best interest. It's very important.
Yeah, but no, you say that, and then we tell people all the time. But they're so stuck in their way that they are blinded or they're stubborn and keep doing what they're doing or put the same people in there. Like we talked about Mick Conley and all these other guys who's in there senators for what, 20-something years?
Yeah.
And then you try to that those are the ones that you want to make sure get out of office or not have these long term.
Right.
No, the president.
That's sad. Like I said, those who become sycophants for the president and doing his will because they're scared. Because to be honest, they don't care a nickel about that man, but they are scared of his tweet powers. He was like, wait a minute, he gonna turn my people against me. He put out a tweet against me and suddenly I got a nickname and I'm out the door. I was a great guy last week and suddenly I got a horrible name and, I'm out the door. So a lot of these people, they're scared of him. That's why I gave props to Mitt Romney because he put it down. He was like, I don't care what happens. Wrong is wrong. That was his religious side speaking, but I can't do nothing but respect the person who walks the path, who walks the walk and talks the talk. If you say that you're about this or you're about that, you're an advocate Muslim, an advocate Jew, an advocate any of those things, and you see it through to the end, hey, I respect that. I can't help but to respect that one, and so he put it out there. These what he doing don't align with my values. It's ridiculous. And everybody else like, wait a minute, Mitch, come on now, toe the line. Not Mitch, Mitt. Yeah, no, Mitch probably said it to Mitt. Toe the line. Come on now, you can't go against president. It's gonna be horrible for you. This, that, and the other. But like I said, real recognizes real, and his constituents, they will see that he made the right decision based off of how he present himself to them. And hopefully that'll work. What's that?
Okay. I know you got a position, but I know you the dummy. You're not going to talk to me in the type of way. I don't think what you put out there, or you're going to make me look bad. How? You're a retard.
He's going to communicate to those who have a mindset much like his own and get out there making fun of you, saying all kind of things that are, you can't even say partial truths, straight up lies, and get them behind them. And they'll be saying all the same stuff, and next thing you know, it's boo. When you come back to your own hometown. You got a lot of them like that, man. It's a sad case.
And I listen to this guy, man. He says some of the bone-headed things I've heard in my life. He's not clever with anything.
Not at all. Not at all. It's a lot of old double talk. Like they say, when he gets up there, it sounds like a student who hasn't done a book report and he's trying to jazz his way through it. They were like, "Oh, Mr. President, let's talk about the crop reports for this fall. What is your thoughts on those?" "Oh, the crop reports. I'm glad you brought that up because the crop reports are important. It's important to have crop reports, because before me, the crop reports, not so much. But now, big crop reports, the best crop reports ever." And some guys, and I hear them say this, that these are the best crop reports that they heard of. Okay, next question. You're like, what?
You never read the book, have you?
And some reporters, I have to give them their props. Some reporters have been, lashing back and getting back on them. And he's up there, that's not so nice the way you said what you said. How dare you ask that question? It wasn't nice. You're not being nice to me. Maybe you should be nice. You used to work for this company. Now you're working for this. I'm not saying that it's something bad that you did, but you're not a nice person. Next question. I'm like, whoa, the skin is thin on this man. And that's why when he talks about, and when he talks about anything having to do with the COVID-19 situation, I don't listen. And like he definitely has no sway and getting me to think anything. I'm like, oh no, this is a man who cannot get through a briefing that doesn't have pictures or his name in it. I'm like, you an adult. This is shameful, man.
A 70-year-old.
70-year-old. A supposed adult. Once again, folks, this is the AiQ show, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday at 6 p.m. You can go ahead and get your questions in via the phone number there, 312-554-5785. That's 312-554-5785. Tell us what's going on out there. Go ahead and drop a comment below also. We'll answer that inside of chats on both YouTube and Facebook. Also Twitter. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting about Twitter. Twitter's a stepchild. Go ahead and get that out there.
Scared,
only reason I don't really...
everybody's out there looking at the videos for the girls, firefighters, and then turn around and have a night on. You can tune in and ask questions.
Go ahead. Yeah, any questions, any suggestions out there, go ahead and get those heard, and we will get back to those. And also, if you're watching this on the replay, we will answer those questions that come up afterwards, because it's good. It's good to do so. But man,
I think so.
it's ridiculous. The big thing now, though, thinking about the children, the 2020 children, those that were slated to graduate from 8th grade, high school, and college. Proms. Money has been spent. Contracts have been made for dresses and matching outfits and limo rentals. Some people rented out halls for pre-parties, before time, because it's good to do it before time to get that money saved. But now you're getting a lot of parents out there that spent all this money, and it may not happen.
Well, that's May, right?
Oh, well, you got some proms happening, in May. Mid-May, some are happening toward the end, but mostly in the mid-May time, and a lot of those events aren't happening. Some schools have canceled throughout the nation. Some schools have canceled the school year. They're done, and they're just going to pick up, in the fall. Some of them did that, and I'm like, oh boy, that sucks. And then for the parents. For the parents that had to spend money like that and save up for kids to go to these prom events and rent out cars and things, go out pretty big, null and void. A lot of people were suggesting having virtual graduations and virtual prom parties. I don't know how that'll work, but it's a good try. There are things that you can do, and hopefully this will, like I said, this week is the week of the highest numbers they're expecting to be reported, somewhere in the 9,000 range. And they're saying we're pretty much going to reach the top of the bell. The whole thing is shaped like a bell curve, they're calling it. We're just about to reach that peak. They said within this week and next week we'll be reaching the peak of that, meaning that we're at the height of as bad as it's going to get, the proliferation of who gets infected, not the deaths, but the infections. And like I said again, that number is up there for the United States. We're in the 300,000. 300,000. Forget actual and factual information. Make sure you go to the CDC's website on the COVID-19 to get real information, no pseudo information. Know what you think maybe you're getting the information that the news is feeding to you. You're going to their source and getting it. I'd rather you do that. Because we have this also. We have it's a website called World Meters Info. We pull information from there that will give you day-to-day real-time information. From the time we started this show. Now remember, we started this show almost an hour ago. If I hit refresh right here, look at these numbers. Hit refresh. The numbers switch up, showing real-time movement. Now, that may be a little bit hard for some of you to see, but that number for the U.S. is 336,550. That's 25,193 new cases today. We have broke 9,000 already. Today, there has been 1,159,000 deaths. So I don't want to hear no more. This isn't real. I don't want to hear any more. This is a joke. This is a hoax. This is just a way for them to keep you in the house while they install 5G antennas. That one alone makes me sad to hear people say that and believe that that's the case. This is the thing. If there's a day, 5G is having complete meshability. Where is this they going to live? I'll tell you that once they're done installing all these antennas, these 5G antennas, find out where there are no 5G antennas installed, and we'll say the they you were talking about lives there. It'll be like the North Pole. It'll be in the middle of the desert, something like that. So that'll leave your argument null and void. So stop spreading stupid. Some people don't like when I just call it stupid, but it's stupid. We gotta stop spreading stupid.
They gotta get out there. They gotta feel like, man, informing people of something that they heard of them more.
Right. And that's sad.
True.
That's sad. I mean, come on, man. Just putting it out there, just to put it out there. That's like the Me Too kid, Yeah. Hey, man, what you do this summer? Man, I went out and I went to the lake and swam and what you do? I went out, rode a bicycle and whatnot. Went to Disney World. What you do? Me too. What? That's not a thing. Pretty sure you didn't go to my grandma's house with me. That Me Too. Yeah, and it's cold too. Yeah, come on, man. We don't need to co-sign it. You don't need to co-sign on it. Don't co-sign on foolishness. Like I say, if you want the real deal, Holyfield information, you can go to the CDC's website, get that information, and they will put you into tune exactly what you need to know. Again, that's the CDC's website. That's cdc.gov. And right there, they'll tell you learn about COVID-19. So you can learn about COVID-19 right there. Boom. And you got it. Tell you how to protect yourself. Tell you what the symptoms are. Let's go through that. For those who want to know what the symptoms are, let's hit that down. Learn more about these symptoms. All right. Watch for these symptoms. Fever, cough, shortness of breath. All right. Seek medical attention if you develop emergency warning signs of COVID-19. Get medical attention immediately. Emergency warning signs include, here we go, trouble breathing. Bam, that's one. Persistent pain or pressure on your chest. That's two. New confusion or the inability to arouse. Boom. Bluish lips or face. Now that sounds very close like that you're drowning. That sounds horrific, if you will. I don't want that happening. Now, yeah, and you can go ahead and get the flyers, print those things out, distribute those throughout your neighborhood, distribute those to people who are saying crazy things. We got this in 5 languages here: English, Spanish, Chinese, Korean, and Vietnamese. So everybody can get that information. That's real important. Go to the CDC's website to get real information. None of the pseudo stuff, none of the fake stuff. Just the real. That's what we want to put out there. Real, valid information.
Stop spreading stupid. You just took it all off, man.
You was reading? No. That was actually set for auto. Let me bring that back for you. What did it say? Oh, the scammers.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, man, the scammers. We got dudes out here. We got people out here, people. Let's talk about the criminals first, because they're the most dangerous. The criminals out here, who out here dressing up in white tie-verse suits, putting on face masks, talking about this is a coronavirus checkpoint. You don't see a squad car. You don't see a Department of Disease Control vehicle. You don't even see a streets of sanitation vehicle nowhere around. These people are getting there, trying to get you to open your windows, reaching in, taking purses, snatching things, running off with them. You got people who are going door to door, doing the same home invasion style, throwing on a Tavrek suit, little face mask, and a clipboard, knocking on your door, talking about they're going to give door to door COVID testing. There is none. That's not a thing. It doesn't exist. Don't open your door for these people. If somebody comes to your door like that, reach for your click clack. You know what I'm talking about. Get your click clack ready and just let them know. Stay off your marigolds, And now you have the hustlers. Now these people are bad in another way. They bad in the sense that they out here selling pseudo cures for something that there is no cure for. There's no cure for influenza, the flu. There is no cure for COVID-19. There's no cure. There's only things to ease you through said symptoms until you work it through your body. That's all there is. There's only that. So you got people out here selling you, let's start with the dummies. There are people out here selling you super grades of weed. Super grades of weed, so-called, and basically your regular weed with a little oregano in it, talking about this gonna kill that corona. That's gonna kill you. Then you got people out here selling you products that are your normal Herbalife type of things. These are good for your day-to-day health maintenance. These will not cure COVID-19. These will not cure any coronaviruses at all. They don't do that. Then you got people out here selling you immunity boosters. Immunity boosters is a so-so thing. Can your immunity be boosted better than what it is now? And a small percentage. It's not going to be big enough to thwart off something that's big coming your way, but it's good for your day-to-day living and activity, your day-to-day breathing, helping you get up them flights of stairs and helping you wake up on time and that stuff is good for, and I'm all for that, sell that, move that product, that's good, but don't make false claims. The Food and Drug Administration has not approved one of these things. None. Zero. And again, if you got any doubts, go to the FDA's website and check for coronavirus cures. You will see zero. None. And don't fall for they don't want you to know about this. This is something they don't want you to know about. This is special. This off the shelf. This off the market, baby. They gonna pull it open in the what was the dude from Good Times? Lenny. Lenny gonna pull up in his Lenny gonna pull up and this is sweet Lenny. And if you don't buy no Corona cure from Lenny, you won't have any. I got the finest in COVID-19 N95 mask and the best thing that come in a flask, baby. Cure, cure, cure. And it's pure, pure, pure. What in the hell? Don't fall for this. This is not Maxwell Street. And those who are old enough to remember what that was, what that place was, You know what I'm talking about. Scam City. Anybody? Wait. We were talking about before about people who have lived through certain things, then they won't get coronavirus. Well, if you live through certain things, you won't get scammed. If you live through that dude trying to hold a gold chain in front of you and light it on fire, talking about this is the real deal, baby, right here. All I'm asking is $20. If you live through that, you shouldn't be buying any bogus cures or anything like that. If you was a dude that lived through somebody saying, "Hey, look, I got these keys right here. I got these keys right here. I just need you to go ahead and hold them for me. I'm gonna go around the block and I'm coming back." Oh, no. The start my car thing. It's so many scams. Look, don't fall for the BS. Don't fall for the they out to get you type of things.
I don't know who's doing that now. Who's gonna fall for that type of crap, man. I really don't, man. It's ludicrous.
It's ludicrous. It's a ludicrous state of mind. It's a ludicrous state of being. How dare they? How dare they? Oh, what is this? Oh, got another one right here. It says setting up fake medical station charging $240 to test to see if you got coronavirus. $240. That's from Mary Davis. $240 to see if you had coronavirus. Man, come on now. $240.
They can get low. Man. I don't know.
And ignorance can be costly. This is why you have to go to the official sources for the information. Like I say, listen to what I'm talking about, but at the same time, verify. Go to the CDC's website. Go to the World Health Organization's website. Go to the Food and Drug Administration's website. These are the entities in this country who check things. You know, there are other things that we also check. So, like when we run a story, we go ahead and we verify our sources to I verify the ones through Snoops. And what Snoops does is steal your social security number and your money at the same time. That's true. If I'm able to get you to do these little fake tests, not only am I getting $240 from you, and I tell you I'm gonna need your social security number so we can verify, with the results and send them to you. And now I got your social security number and I got your $240. So I'm finna drop your credit score down to $240 while I take your $240. That's horrible. So again, CDC's website, cdc.gov, Food and Drug Administration website. Go there and make sure.
That's why, I said the National Guard needs to be given treatment, man. First of all, you talk about the scams, that's one thing. Then you got people out there who should not be on the train or on the bus for non-essential. We both of us are essential workers, you know what I'm saying? So those are people who have to go to work to keep this whole thing running. I mean, that's just what it is that y'all don't know. But I know y'all. But I'm on the train, getting back. I don't really get on public transportation. But you see quite a few people still in there. Now, you know they're not accepted, man. They tell you to stay at home. Stay your ass at home.
Stay your ass at home. Wait, they ain't gonna hear from us. That's what they're gonna hear from right there. Stay your ass at home. She's saying it nice and clear. Well, say it again, Lord. Stay your ass at home. She ain't playing. It's important. Now, see, the only issue with bringing the National Guard in is now you got a whole nother case of cereal box at top educated fools who gonna get out there and say, see, this that new world order. They want the military out here so they can force you to do this and force you to do that.
They can say what they want to say, man. But they are there for purpose, man. They are there for your own good, because if you see what's going on out there, see, we can walk around freely and everything like that. This is a hoax until they broke Brad and passed out in front of them.
Right. your little homie who had asthma is now breathing a little harder than normal, and his little air pump ain't working the way it normally would, and he down for the count. And you like, whoa, it's real, you know. But like I say, some people got to burn or learn. They got to touch that stove that first time. But I mean, you touched the stove so many times in life already. Why is this necessary? Why is it necessary? True. Burns do come in degrees. Yes, it's true. Yeah, you got a point right there. Very true.
Melanin is gone.
No. Like I say, man, look, life should come with a manual, but learning firsthand is the best experience. You know, we trying to be your cheat sheet. We're trying to be your life cheat sheet right now to keep you out of any troubles and harms that may come your way due to the foolery.
Yeah, but like I say, somebody got to open up or look at it.
Look at it. Just take a peek. Take a little look. Send a book, Reading Rainbow. Then LeVar Burton got us a long way. You know, I'm just trying to, you know, pass on what LeVar Burton gave to me to y'all. That's all. So, just trying to do that. But yeah, man, this has been. Huh? Oh no! I was trying to pull up something. It closed on me. Like, oh, okay. You don't want me to show it, okay? You don't want me to show it. Yeah. And let's talk about personal protection equipment though, and how it should be used. Got a feeling that's gonna come up. All right.
You look at what they just said now. CDC. Now they want everybody to wear masks.
Yeah.
Just healthcare.
And that's what we were talking about. The reversal. Suddenly, because remember, it was a stigma at first. It was a two-part thing. It was a stigma thing, and it was also the supplies thing. It later became a supplies thing. Okay, first it was a stigma of we don't want to look like China. We don't want a bunch of people walking around with masks on, looking, you know, scared or sick. You know, we don't want that. You know, then suddenly it was like, no, don't buy the mask. Don't do it. No. And you were like, what? Why so stern? Because they needed the supplies and the supplies were running out. Then the supplies ran out. Then it was like, damn. Then it was like, you need to cover your mouth. You need to do this. You need to cover your mouth some kind of way. Don't use N95s. We need those. That's for essential workers. That's for hospital workers, frontline workers. But cover your mouth, which I'm all for. Cover your mouth. You may not use N95s, and most people don't know how to use those safely anyway. A real N95, I'll tell you, because I wear them daily, it will restrict your airflow. So you will have labored breathing through them. They should be fitted to your face. Basically meaning that, you can't do this now, but basically meaning that you would go to the store, buy 3 sizes, large, medium, small. Whichever one fits, that's your fitment. Buy that size. Whichever one stays sealed, you do a negative pressure test. That's basically inhaling, seeing if any air comes in through the sides lines of that, you're fine. As far as gloves, now we got a lot of people out here misusing these rubber gloves, these nitrile rubber gloves and latex gloves. Look here, people. They are task-orientated gloves. PPE is personal protective equipment to protect you. This is how you protect yourself. First, this is how you don't protect yourself. Don't wear gloves. Start touching things, moving things about. Then be like, man, it's hot up in here, boy. Touching on your bare face. Or then, with those same said gloves on that you've had on for hours, eating food, French fry dipping and whatnot. Drinking drinks where you have to touch the straw, the bare straw, and then put that in your mouth. The glove you're wearing is a situational use glove for personal protection. After you do one thing, remove said glove, fold it up, take it from the base, roll it up, take the other one, Don't let them touch your skin. Roll them up. Boom, they roll into each other. Toss them in the garbage. Your hands should never touch the outside of those gloves. You should have multiple gloves in your pocket. Use them correctly, and please, for the love of God, in the parking lot of Walmart, throw the things in the garbage. God damn. You go over there to the red line, the blue line, the green line, the purple line. It's gloves all over the goddamn place when people get off. You're doing a great job of changing the gloves. There are garbages right there. That rule has not changed. Give a hoot, don't pollute, never be a dirty bird. Us that grew up in the 80s and 70s, we know that mantra is stuck in our heads. Don't do it. Smokey the Bear gonna cry. Don't do it. That was the Native American by the roadside. You gonna cry. Don't do that, man. It's just as bad as seeing the damn Dorito bags blowing in the wind. I don't want to see that crap. It's horrible, bro. It's
horrible, but they continue to do it, man.
They continue to do it. This is what I'm saying. Hey, look, I get out there in front of my house with a small 5-pound bag and a little pick of stick, and I get up all the little bags and little fifth bottles to get thrown all over the damn place, and I do it in front of the people who would do it, and they feel a certain kind of way. You see the shame on their face. They look and they're like, oh, this motherfucker. Right.
Are you sure about that, man?
Oh yeah. Look. I've seen them stand there and get uncomfortable and walk back in the house and look through the Now remember, I told you how strong my cameras are in my house. The audio multiplies when there's no sound. It multiplies the audio to get more and more until it actually hears the sound. So you can hear them at the patio door saying, man, I ain't standing out there while he cleaning up. I'm the dude that threw the shit out there in the first place. I don't think got me feeling some kind of way. So it's wrong. Throw the thing in the garbage, man. Throw the little rubber gloves in the garbage. It's nasty. Think about the people who got to pick that stuff up. That's somebody's job. I urge you all to watch the movie The Platform on Netflix. It's in Spanish, but they also have an English version. That's an excellent movie. If you get analogies and allegories, this is an excellent movie to watch, so you can learn about what's happening below, above, affect those below, and what happens when you're in each one of those situations. Boom, 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 above and below, and only thinking about yourself. It's an excellent movie. That's on Netflix. It's called The Platform. It's in English and Spanish. Watch it. It's a good movie. Good movie. In depth. Right now, if you go to Netflix, the suggestion for the movies is off the chain. What we got? Contagion, number 1. Outbreak. The Girl with All the Gifts. Z. Any movie that's dystopian future, disease outbreak, it's out there for you. Change your gloves regular and clean your cell phone often as well. Yes, people, understand this. If you are a parent of a small child, let's say toddler and whatnot, and you got the gloves, that's good. You got your phone and you're using the gloves, that's good. You careful of not putting that phone to your face, that's also good. But check this out. When you get home, you give that phone to your kid to play Candy Crush or whatever the heck the kids are playing nowadays from that gloved hand you had. So wipe down your phone. Carry around you some little wipes and whatnot. Look at this. He wiping down right now. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Action and motion. We speak word of truth around here. He making it happen. It's very important. It's very important. Very important to make this happen. What you have to do. It's good. We had put out a video. I don't know if I can play it. We had put out a video about washing your hands, telling the people to wash their hands, and it was an officer. No, it was to keep your kids in the house. That's what it was. It was the one about the kid. And, oh yeah, you sent me this video that you wanted us to share with the people. Let me see if I can bring that up. That's okay. Yeah. All right. This is some foolishness. All right. We're gonna fade over here to this. Now, we got this champion of men here.
My mom.
Look at
flying real crazy on everything.
this dude was going container to container.
That's how we come. We spreading that shit, the coronavirus. We spreading that shit. And my mama, big ass coronavirus. Open everything up. We spreading that shit. My mama. My slime real crazy on everything.
Now, that was disgusting.
That more than disgusting.
That shit,
that was disgusting.
When they catch him, and he goes to jail. Believe me, when he gets to jail, they use that too.
I mean,
they already have the Cook County Jail and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
They probably do not like that. Mm-hmm. They probably have to be more isolated, worse than anybody on the planet. Well, in this country. Believe me, when they get to him,
you got this boy out here just. I mean, people out here just trying to gather attention just to gather attention, man. I mean, if you want to
gather attention, it's another thing, man. You can. There could be a attempt murder because the say it, elderly or other disease. Catch it from that,
right?
And I know, man, all the different security guards and law enforcement, they got their work cut out. Working their Walmart.
Yeah.
Target, Jewels, even Walmart.
That's sad, Joe, because it's like you like you said, elderly person can get that. They're not noticing that the safety tab is not in place. I mean, one, he breaking the law by opening those containers without paying for it. That's definitely against the law. But two, like I said, nobody wants your herpes. Not just your coronavirus. They don't want your H1N1. They don't want your kissing disease, your cooties. They don't want none of that. Come on. There's a lot of things they don't want from you.
We want your breath.
Yeah, your breath. And they don't want none of it. I mean, all up on the cranberry. It's disgusting. That's one of my favorite drinks.
It's somebody else up there. Yeah, man. Let them have it.
Right. Somebody putting a battery in your back and just letting you go Energizer Bunny style. Crash test dummy. That's been that was that people forgot about that term, but that was a big term back in the day. Use a crash test dummy. Getting somebody to wound up. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Go and do it, and you stand up, do it, and they dumb just.
Send off, man.
Send off. There you go. Send off, boy. Yeah. Shoot, in prison that would be called somebody's so he's just out there doing it, and now he got his face on social media. That video is probably shared by a few 100,000 people, and eventually, how social media works. It gets back to you. It gets back to you. They gonna see who you was. They gonna figure out what store that was. Whoever name that was in the video chat. Not video chat, but the video share. They gonna find out that person. Like, hey, we gonna put the y'all done seen Force 48. How Kara Mosley get you in that room, boy. She get you in that room and you ain't telling nothing. I ain't gonna say a word. These my dudes. These my home. Next thing you know, you sitting there with the shirt pulled up on you. Man, how much time I'm looking at? It was Twine in there, man. Like, man.
I figured that was in Chicago. Something like down the Jewel.
I would hope. Lord, I would hope not. Let me know, was that comment again? You saw it. I didn't get to see that one. Well, she's shaking my head. It's supposed to be in Chicago too. Also about the lady that coughed on 35,000 in food. The store. Oh yeah. I don't have that video on me right now, but yeah, the lady that coughed over all that food in the store. The store had to get rid of all of it. 35 grand worth of food, bro.
Now I'm wondering, Mr. Romano, if I was to put my fist in my cheek, does that? what I really get in time. I'm trying to say.
Well, let's see. Self-defense. Well, you were probably about to buy some of this food.
Right.
Defense of others. When you conceal course, they tell you who you can shoot and who you can't shoot. Well, this person was potentially going to harm other people. You stop that, so that could be considered self. No, this is not legal advice, people. that can be considered as self-defense and defense of other people. You know, stopping that person in the act. You know, I might have to take them down by the forehead. You know, forehead first. And save their life. But yeah, people
man. The jury definitely would buy it. Yeah, they definitely would buy it.
You got jury of your peers, you know. If it's your peers.
Like man, you say far as getting attention, not just people are saying that you want to go out and do shit like this, man. You want to harm other people. You got all people right now, man. You know, it's just changing the way we think. You want to go to the store, man. Coronavirus.
I mean, it's sad but true. And some people don't learn till they burn, pretty much. That's
and I apologize for my language. So that type of malice, that type of malice act. I mean, you might as well.
Oh, okay. I think I located said video of the madness right here. I'm gonna share that with the people. Hold on, wait. Facebook is kind of weird nowadays with the video sharing. Let me fade that over here and bring that here. Oh no, this is a different one here. This is a different one. Let me go ahead and get to play this one. Look at the suspect.
We gotta touch them all?
Now.
We gotta touch them all? All of them gotta be touched? Ma'am? They all have to be touched? You sure? Oh. Why are you touching all of them then? You know the coronavirus is going on right now. You sure? Yeah, but your hands are everywhere. You're literally...
Bruh. If anybody has a line on the Indian police force, they were doing some lovely work in India. They were definitely making other departments jealous because they were out there whooping ass. They were getting the boys, and I mean, you had organizations saying, "Oh my God, that's human cruelty," and so they were like, "Okay." So they toned back the ass whooping. They toned it back, and they started making people do squats and push-ups and sit-ups. Like, damn, you know, like, let's see if you're healthy. So, but some people, they gonna have to burn to learn. That's the sad part.
Yeah, man, that's our phrase for the day. Burn and learn.
Burn and learn. Burn and learn. Burn and learn. COVID-19. Burn and learn. It's going to get you. You know, once again, got that live number right there, 312-554-5785. That's 312-554-5785. That's to go ahead, call in live on the show. We are streaming on both social platforms of Facebook and YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Go ahead, get your live calls in there, get your comments heard. You can also post things down in the comments below, and we will address those. Thank you, those who've been very active in the chat today. We got Mary Davis, we got Myrtle C. Davis, we got Calvin Living Life. Thank you guys for being very, very active today. It's very, very appreciated. But
see, we giving people stuff to do in the quarantine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm giving you activities. so much fun and activities. Go ahead and do something. Again, my co-host is not in the studio with me today because we are observing social distancing, in hopes that you too will also observe social distancing. That's a good 6 feet from people. That's 1 meter. Actually, 3 feet is 1 meter, but 6 feet is a good space to be away from each other. Cough when you need to cough. Cough inside of your inner arm if you don't have a mask on. If you are wearing personal protective equipment such as a mask and gloves, those things need to be rotated out. Your mask needs to be washed daily if it's a cotton mask. Your gloves need to be removed after every activity engagement. Once you're done with one thing, take those gloves off, put new ones on, go to the next thing. That's stopping that cross-contamination. If any of you are familiar from the food service world, those out there working restaurants and whatnot, you know about cross-contamination. You don't want to get that chicken ooh-wee on nothing. So that's how you get salmonella poisoning. So you those same rules apply with personal protective equipment during this. All right. But again, I have been Mr. Romano and my co-host
Don Riggle, VA, satellite.
And we like to thank you guys for joining us once again on the All in Question show. Remember, we are here every Sunday at 6 p.m. We are also going to be adding another time slot to the show that's yet to be determined, but it's going to happen. Because you need more of us, and we need more of you. It's a song it's a song that goes something like that. I just don't remember exactly what it was. But very important that you guys go ahead and tune in, and we will see you on the flippity flop. The flippity flop, really?
Catch you next week to see if everybody grew out there. New afro.
Were you intellectually?
Exactly.
Real hair.
Oh yeah. All the realness is gonna come out next week, boy. All the realness. So you see me playing around with the mohawk every now and then. But the mohawk means serious business is happening, serious things gotta come out. You understand? Mohawk means, for those who don't know, Mohawk means those the one who is willing to lead his people, lead and protect his people. That is the significance of a Mohawk, for those who don't know. It's not just that crazy looking thing that you see in movies. Has some strong significance to it. And we can roll up out of here. All right. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless and good night.
Now, how was that? Were you intellectually stimulated? Did you learn something new? Good. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And that's a wrap.